Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be covering Thai Sabaki hand strikes. Now this is our basic hand strikes. There's Thai Sabaki back fist, there's Thai Sabaki elbows. This is going to be mostly punches. There's going to be a couple of differences in here, so pay attention to those, but mostly punches, okay? So if you've been through Thai Sabaki before, you know the framework. So let's just go through the framework real quick, Becca. We're just going to do the steps, okay? We're going to do it facing the camera here. So from here, we're going to start in our chombi stance. Number one, we're going to be going back into our right side. So from here we turn and our 45 degrees in our cat stance. We do our outside block, same thing to the left, which is dual. And then set, we're gonna go to the side with our outside block here, palm in outside block. Then to the other side. And we come back to here. We're gonna go number 5, or docile, is gonna be to the front. We're gonna step with our left and block with a high block here. We're gonna step back. We're gonna step to our right with a high block, boom, here. Now we're going to step back with our left and do an inside block with our right hand. Normally when we do the framework, we do a shuffle here. For this time, we're not going to shuffle at all. So we're just going to step back, boom, into our kind of a chombi stance, our nice little base here, okay, with our inside block. Then we come back and we do the exact same thing to the other side, up, boom. So if you're practicing this in Kibon with a group, maybe the intermediates are working Thai Sabaki at the same time or something, just remember that there is that extra shuffle, which comes in handy for one of these Thai Sabaki movements later on. Okay, so now let's just show how those blocks work with the punches. So very first punch is going to be a right haymaker. I'm going to step back, boom, going to that cat stance with my outer forearm block here. Same thing to the other side, boom, here. Now she's going to throw a straight punch. I'm going to move to the outside, to the cold side. As she throws that punch, I'm moving here, okay? Same thing to the other side, boom. Now if you've already seen these, you will notice that there are these covers in here, and I want you to be using your covers. Let's do number 3 again. So it's a parry and a movement, okay? So the block comes second to the parry, all right? Now, moving on, going to number 5, she's gonna throw that right haymaker, but this time I'm gonna step in, okay? So here's my high block here, right? Okay, same thing to the left, boom, okay? Now, she's gonna strike again with her right with a straight punch. This time I'm gonna go cold side. I'm gonna do an inside block, boom. And of course, this is where I would do the shuffle. But again, that's for something else. So she's gonna throw this other hand, same deal, step back with my inside block. Now, obviously Miss Becca's being really nice and letting the camera see all of the things that we're doing. A bad guy's not gonna be that nice. They're gonna be stepping in with these big strikes and whatnot. So just be aware that the spacing is gonna be a little different when we do this live. But now I have to show you the counters, because Thai Sabaki is a blocking framework that is designed to set up different counters. So we're going to be using a couple of different strikes today, just a couple of reminders on how those work. A reverse punch is off of your rear hand, okay? We're going to be throwing a reverse punch to the face. This is our extended punch here. And we're going to be throwing a reverse punch to the body. Some people call these a cross. If you really pivot off of that and rotate your body, that's when we call it a cross. The traditional punch is a reverse punch with the heel on the floor, okay? But again, that is coming off your back hand. We are also going to be throwing a palm strike. It's going to be an upward palm strike. Instead of a straight in, it's actually going to come up just a little bit. We're trying to lift the chin with this one, okay? We are also going to be throwing a knife hand strike, a palm down knife hand strike. We're going to be using the outside edge of the hand here and striking along the surface of the neck. So those are the things to be ready for. Miss Becca, are you ready, ma'am?
Yes.
We're going to go through this nice and slow. So Miss Becca is going to throw her first haymaker. I'm going to step back into that cat stance. Boom. From here, I'm going to grab and throw a reverse punch. Remember that we always pull to the hip, so I'm going to pull to the hip, boom, as I throw that reverse punch to the face. Okay, I'm pulling her into that strike. We'll do the same thing to the other side. Step back, block, grab, I'm launching forward into that forward stance, boom, throwing that through the face, okay? Good parry, Miss Becca. All right, now for our second one, she's going to throw the same hand, but she's going to throw a straight punch. Now I'm going to move to the cold side. So I'm going to parry, block, grab, and instead of going to the face this time, because her shoulder's in the way, I'm going to go down here to her rib cage. Boom. Trying to kind of hit that liver, spleen, whatever's down there on the side there, depending on which side you're hitting, okay? Same thing to the other side. She throws the straight punch. I parry, I step, I block, grab, launch myself in for that reverse punch into that soft tissue. I don't want to hit below the belt because that's all hip and that's a lot of bone, okay? Next, she's going to throw another haymaker. This time, the block and the strike are simultaneous. I'm going to step in with that high block, boom, number 5 here, but I'm also going to be bringing this hand up. Instead of pulling it to my hip, I'm actually going to come up, boom, at the same time. So I'm going to do a palm strike underneath the chin here. So she throws her haymaker, boom, I'm coming right up in here. When you're training with a partner, please go slow on that one. you tend to hit people and clack their teeth together and they get upset about that. So go slow with it, okay? Other side, same thing. I step in and throw that up here. Now I'm really leaving this back foot posted on the floor here where I can drive through. It's not a traditional forward stance, okay? It's a modified forward stance. Next, we're gonna do 2 more straight punches, but this time I'm gonna go to the hot side, to in between her shoulders, okay? So now she throws her right hand, I'm gonna turn, boom, I'm gonna reach under, okay, or over. It depends on their height. Miss Beck is a little bit shorter than I am. If she's striking toward my body, for me to come down here and try to reach under really doesn't make a lot of sense. You know what, let me do this other side so they can see that better, okay? So she strikes to my body, I do my inside block, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but trying to come under here is kind of silly. So I would go over, right? However, if she was striking up toward my head, boom, now I can go under. And for this particular one, we really kind of want to go under because we're now going to take this hand, we're going to follow down the line of her arm as we move in, and we're going to do that knife hand chop. We're aiming just underneath the jaw here, right here for the carotid artery and that big muscle right there. Okay, so now we're going to do all of that together in one smooth cycle. So starting with number 1, she throws her haymaker. I step back, reverse punch to the body. Same thing to the other side. Ooh. Reverse punch to the body, straight punch, parry, block, punch to the gut here. Parry, block, punch to the gut. Next is gonna be the straight punch, the haymaker punch. I'm gonna move in, boom here, and a haymaker on the other side. Boom, getting that palm strike up there nice and tight. Now the straight punch, inside, over or under, depending on which way you're gonna go. Her hand is a little low, so I'm gonna go over the top and I'm gonna strike here. If her hand is up high, I'm gonna go under and strike to the carotid artery. Same thing to the other side. Parry, I go under and strike. And I want to move my body in with this strike so that I'm getting good connection here. I'm pulling and I'm moving in with that strike. So there's your Thai Sabaki with hand strikes, okay? We're going to come up to the camera just a little bit where you can see that a little bit better, and that way you get a better view of what the hands are doing. Hana. Du. Set, net, das hold, yas hold, yilgop, yodol. So you can go either over or under depending on what you need to do there. All right, guys, that is Thai Sabaki with hand strikes. Keep training, keep growing, and get creative with it. This is a fun one. We'll see you guys in the next video.